So the message that I was so excited to bring you was a message regarding resonance. So the underlying message that I got was regarding the inability to trust oneself, the intuitive guidance that you are receiving through the feelings or synchronicities or these things that you are dismissing as coincidence or feeling like you feel that it is for you, but your logical mind steps in and says something about statistics or coincidence or randomness, then you dismiss the message. And I was being brought back to that idea of reinforcing the inability to trust yourself and the messages that come through that are from your higher self communicating with you. It's funny, I just heard knowing very well that you're going to just toss them aside. Your distrust in your own intuition, your inability to hear your own intuition, your desire for it to be a poster, a billboard, I'm seeing a billboard on the side of the road, like with your name and flashing lights, and this message is for you, and then exactly what you needed to hear, right? Um, this is an opportunity to the message. This message is going to be for you, and in this message, the resonance that you hear, the statements that make you react, are to highlight what you already know to be true. Okay, I think that's all of the original message. I was so excited to hear this particular message come through because I like because it resonated with me and the fact that like that's how resonance works for me. Like that's and so I was immediately drawn to do this for someone else, which I absolutely. So this message is for you. Okay. I'm excited to see what it is because nosy and it's fun. And doing this lets me connect, helps me connect to my higher self, and it makes me stronger when trusting my own intuition. Okay. Great. So where do we want to start? Okay. So we're gonna start here. Mhm. Okay. Goddess, you know what I love. That may be of service in this way. What messages do we? Oh, okay, we have release and wrath. Release and wrath. What's interesting about this wrath card, right? I always think of sacred rage. Releasing wrath. You might be going through something that is really, you might be releasing something that is buried deep, deep within. You might not even resonate with the word wrath, or rage. Like it might be that, oh, getting cold chills. Yeah. So it might be that suppressed. Just the idea of wrath or rage is like, oh, no, oh, that's not love and light. That's not, blah. It might be suppressed that low. All right. Let's just get a couple more. Okay, let's get one more. Whoa, all right. And then fear, fear, releasing wrath, rage, and fear. What are you angry about? Why are you angry? What are you fearful of? Have you worked the process? Start with the process. I am angry at, and then why? Because, da, da, da. Try your I statements. I am angry because this situation makes me feel, because, and just keep going all the way down. I have a feeling that you will find that the wrath and the rage is directly related to the fear. Now, I brought this. Okay. So, first deck, first deck, first deck. Okay. So, a message coming through is some of you might need to or might benefit from researching Carolyn Myss, Myss, or maybe it's Nice, but it's Myss, specifically looking at her um, teachings on the, she uses a building. Take a look at her building, because when I said first deck, what brought to my mind immediately was first floor, which is going to be where your wrath and your fear reside. Okay, so that's a message for some of you. Okay, what I was going to say is that this is the first time that I've used this deck. This is the Shuffle Tarot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in this deck, it looks like they've just kind of taken this standard Rider-Waite-Smith and moved the characters, the scenery, the topics, and such around. So this is going to be really fun because it'll be very intuitive. So we have here the where it's an 8, right? It looks like a mixture of the 8 of Swords and the 8 of Wands. So what this is about, this is very much about receiving or sending. It'll be incoming or outgoing. For some reason, I'm getting the feeling that this has not happened yet, or it will be predominant in your linear time. Yeah, which doesn't exist. But like, you're either going to be aware of wanting to send messages out of fear, wrath, release wrath, fear. Watch your tongue. I know you want to. I know, I can feel it. Like, yeah, but I have a lot of things that I need to say about this particular situation, and they're not so nice. They're, you might have done that too. You might have already engaged in I feel like this is a text message more than anything else. Words that are sharp. You might want to release those. You might want to release that. All right, this card came right out too. Wow. The Nine of Pentacles. So this is actually has a title on it, so we're going to take it as the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the change here is going to be the horse is a zebra-ish with the headdress of a sphinx on it. All right, so what this is telling me is directly related to this. Pause. Take a minute. This might be out of the ordinary for you, right? Let's say that you are a personality that would very easily shoot some really nasty stuff. Oh, reminds me of an air sign. Air signs are notorious for that. Notorious for it. Not the propensity to do it, but like when it comes out, 11:11 on the timer, it comes out. Like, yeah, pause here. The opportunity is presenting itself, but you're being asked to just slow your words. Okay. And then we have what would have been the Two of Wands and the Devil. Okay. Give me a minute to sit with this energy. Wow. This is the Two of Wands, right? But there are swords in it. The swords are dripping with blood. The globe is covered with blood. The character is blindfolded, not even aware that he's slicing his own hands. And then we have the devil here with the character from the Fool. The dog is on a chain, the other chain is free. The white rose of truth is pointed towards the above, and the fire of inspiration is pointed downward. Okay. There is an energy in these two cards combined that is making you had an oppor you want to go a different direction. You don't want to stay where you are any longer. And there is an energy in your environment that is manipulating that desire to go elsewhere, to take a different direction, to see what else is out there, to not stay where you are. And it's manipulating it to seem like it is dangerous or destructive or not in your best benefit. It is blinding you to the opportunity of leaving where you are now, specific to starting new, a new journey, a new opportunity. the Fool energy. This is very much like the devil pretending to be a new opportunity and also manipulating your decision out of fear, manipulating your decision, making it seem like going in that direction is going to hurt you, is going to cause pain. It might not even be hurt you, it might be somebody else. It's going to cause pain. There will be blood because of it. Blood like life essence. Blood. Okay. So I think that okay, we got these two together. Okay. Okay. So what is the current energy of the viewer as it relates to the situation? Anything else we can bring about for the situation? So more fire energy. We have the Queen of Wands as the Empress with a cornucopia of baby. It's kind of cute. And then we have the Nine of Wands as but with swords. Oh, I love this. Throughout this period, this experience that you are having, you have found a way to incorporate the fullness, the resourcefulness, the creativity, the productivity. And I think that's more like producing the productivity um, of the Empress, but you've done it in a Queen of Wands energy. You've done it in a way that was direct and fiery, decisive, all the while protecting yourself, like legit going through it. But notice this character is not wounded. There are no wounds on this character. And his border is swords made of iron, steel, metal, not sticks. He's not leaning, resting on his wand because he's exhausted from battle. He's like vigilant. He's being vigilant, almost like he hasn't even been through the battle yet, or his outside fortress was so strong, nothing could come in, but he's still waiting, still ready. I feel a certain amount of anticipation for this to all work out in your favor, but not like anticipation waiting for the universe to make it so. Like you know that you are going to be triumphant, be victorious. You know that you're going to come out on top of this, but you know that it's going to come from, oh, that's interesting, a place of Being the initiator, what does that mean? Being So the Empress has more of like a nurturing energy, more of like a loving, nurturing, fully abundant. She's like in her lush garden. The Queen of Wands is not like that. The shadow side of the Queen of Wands is very, uh, she's a temptress. You're very much in the Queen of Wands energy, embodying the Empress. You're approaching this from a way where it just with extreme confidence. The confidence that you're exuding right now in this moment is overwhelming. I feel like you're confident because you know that you are protected and everything's going to be okay. But like I said, not be okay, like because you're waiting for an outside source to save you. You're okay because you have strengthened your walls, you have strengthened your boundaries, and you're determined not to let anyone upset those boundaries. Even those that come in and want you to say, "Oh, you know what? You left. You left. It was a bad idea. I told you it was going to be. It's going to be painful." And that was your fear. Like your fear was the change. Okay. What challenges? Are there any challenges here? There is always challenge. What are the obstacles? So I'm going to show you the card. Okay. So this is the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Wands as a combination. So you might be feeling like, yeah, I know everything's going to be okay, right? I know because I'm strong. Because I'm strong and I'm not going to tolerate this anymore. But there is an underlying, like, who's going to help me pick up the pieces here? You know what? It almost gives me the feeling of, so if the Five of Wands is about confrontation and battle, but in a kind of a playful way, it reminds me of like sibling rivalry in a way, or just fighting, or arguing for the sake of arguing. It almost feels like, who's going to help me pick up the pieces with this? You helped create this mess. Where are you when it's time to clean it all up? You feel like I didn't do this. You did this. And you should be the one cleaning this mess up. This character sitting off to the side is kind of like the energy of what I'm picking up on. That I'm just going to stand here and I'm going to watch you guys pick up all these pieces of this broken window. Like, you're the reason that it broke. There's something about it that gives me this feeling of like being all alone. That's what you want to do. Like, you want to straight up say, I didn't make this mess. But you don't have anybody to say it to, though. You don't have anybody to say it to. All right. Anything else that could be an obstacle? So we have the Page of Cups in the desert. So Page of Cups merges with the Page of Wands. You're, oh, you want somebody to care or to help or to apologize. Feels more like help. I'm also getting prayer. And then I'm immediately brought back to resonance. Your obstacle is that energy of I want someone to extend an offer from their heart to help, something that will help, but you're in the desert. You might be asking your higher self to help. You might be praying to whatever God is, your God or your higher power, your higher self or the universe, or asking something. So maybe that's why you're here. Like you just help because of the wands being spirit. And you might be asking for a way to, you might be asking for inspiration, an idea of how to fix this or how to make it stop hurting or how to some sort of recognition that you didn't create this, but you did create it. You did create it. This experience is not personal, it's just an experience, and it is done by your creation. Whether it was your creation or you said yes to it, either way, you did participate. You co-signed on this experience. Please remember that it will be beneficial for you in the future, even now, or like it is, you co-signed on this. There's something about accepting that idea of being an active participant in your experience, knowing that, and I can feel the resistance saying this. Remember, resistance is also about that resonance and the highlighting of it. When you made the decision to have this earthly experience, and if you don't subscribe to that, as you were creating this experience, meaning the events that led up to whatever this ultimate event was, right? At the bottom. Um, as you were doing that, like you were co-signing the whole time. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten this far. You wouldn't have gotten to having to pick up the pieces all by yourself. You wouldn't have gotten that far. You would have stopped at the beginning. You know what I just had the feeling of when I looked down? It's almost like the storyline came together quickly at once. So I'm just going to run through it real quick. So, in the beginning, we had the releasing the wrath and the fear. You might have received messages that were really, really hurtful or an event that was extremely hurtful. that was disguised with the zebra as like this has been generating from a really long time. Like it wasn't just, but for you, it was instantaneous. It was rapid fire. It was like suddenly somebody was running off with their mouth with all these horrible, mean things that you're like, wait a minute, how could you possibly feel that way? Because like that's totally different than it has been ever. And you're like, no, I felt this way for a really long time. I just didn't say anything. I don't think they even said that. I just, there's something being disguised here. And we know that with the devil, like the devil dressed as a fool. And this thing that's being manipulated to look a specific way when it's not is just trying to keep you trapped where you are. It's not even about being trapped. It's more about like not leaving it behind and not in the way like, please don't leave me behind. In the way like it's more comfortable at that lower vibration. And then it wants you to stay comfortable at that lower vibration as well. But you've picked up on it. You've found a way to secure yourself, your boundaries. I keep hearing like for fortitude, it's like fortitude or fortress or it's oh fortify. It must be fortify. Because I'm like, it's something like strengthening in walls or in boundaries, but it gives me the feeling of a castle. So it must be fortify. Your ability to sit in that Queen of Wands energy with the enthusiasm, the drive, the I'm not taking anybody else's anything into consideration. This is I want, this is I want. This is what I want, and this is where I'm going with it, and I know that it's going to be exactly what I need, and I have everything I need. But it requires you to be take more action. Oh, that's what it is. It's the action. Whereas the Empress is just kind of basking in the sun and allowing things to come to her. This is like a this is a go-getting and a protection at the same time. Your effort to go anyway. Your effort to go anyway. That strength, that drive that it took to take action and go anyway, even though the devil dressed as a fool wanted you to so desperately believe that making that choice and heading that direction was going to be painful for you, that you didn't actually want to do it, that you were hurting yourself by making that choice. So um these challenges, these obstacles that are being highlighted for you, I don't feel any direct obstacles in your path. I feel that they are emotional obstacles. That feeling of like after a tower moment where they're just it's an exploded building and there are crumbles everywhere and you're like, yeah, it cleared the way to that wonderful path over there, but like there's shit all in the way. Like that idea of having to pick up the broken pieces. Less tower. hmm 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 Less tower. It's not. It's not demo. It's not the demo of a tower. It's the broken pieces. It's the broken pieces. of being abandoned in some way. And really just wanting somebody to come in and tell you what to do or how to fix it. Somebody to help mend or heal broken pieces of your heart. Okay, so let's get some advice. You're the star in the world. So give you a minute to kind of look at this. Sorry, this this man. I guess it's the hermit in the pond. That's funny. Ah, these are great cards. Okay. Now when the stars in the background aren't falling to the ground. Oh, he already found it. His lantern is empty. And then justice in the world. This gives me great hope. This feeling is incredible. So if we think about the hermit's part of the journey, right? And he has his lantern and he's decided that he really just needs to isolate, go within, figure out, find himself, walk through all of those dark aspects. And he's done that. You've done that. And you've come out the other side. And through that completion, this decision, this cycle, this whatever this was for you, in your completion, it's almost going backwards. See how she's pointing like to the left? It's almost like your participation in the going within, staying true to yourself, not only led you to your highest outcome, it's not only you might not be there yet, but it's not only going to lead you. Not okay. Oh yes. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I acknowledge the alignment. Thank you. The because you stayed centered within yourself, because you stayed isolated, because you did not fire it, you didn't participate, you slowed down, you backed up with this wrath and this fear and this release, and like not with the release, you kept going with the release, but not because you held strong to you, because you stayed centered in yourself, because you did the inner work, because you looked within, you did the hard work, you did the work, and you were able to alchemize that into your hopes and your dreams. You were able to get to the star and you get it. You're like, ah, yeah, I'm gonna take a nice salt bath. Like I'm gonna, that was a long journey. I'm gonna rest. I'm going to rest and I'm going to relax. This is almost like setting off a chain of events that is going to correct any participant in this experience, as if the closure, the cycle, the completion of your cycle is the beginning or the initiation or the stamp or seal of approval, right, on the justice, which is the karma of the other participants in your experience. I really love the determination of the Queen of Wands energy with the underlying feeling of the abundance of the Empress. Okay, that feels pretty complete to me. So I was just coming back in my mind and I was thinking about the beginning of the message was about the being able to resonate, the verbalizing your higher self speaking to you and giving you messages and you not being able to hear it because you don't trust yourself. It was this message, the resonance in this message for you is to be taken as your flashing billboard. This is your higher self talking to you. That's how you know if this message is for you. Okay. All right. I trust that this message will receive whomever it was intended for. And that's all I have. Okay. Take care.